What's up happening? What's up happening, guys? Welcome to another edition of PWT Pro Wrestle Times podcast. Phil Marks is here. Hairline is not here, but first, let's plug our lovely patrons: Reggie Rodriguez, Mark Q the Mark, Ashley V, Russ Paxson, Chris Killis. And big announcement, guys, we are lowering the price of the Patreon. It's going to be a $1 tier and a $5 tier. And yeah, that's just the way I want to do it, daddy. So that's the way we're going to do it. Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. Make sure you check us out at ProWrestleTimes everywhere on the socials. And at Pro Wrestle Clips on YouTube. We've had a good handful of clips banging, man. They've been bubbling. Some of them not so much, but some of them are bubbling. And that's very good. Thank you, guys. And we'll talk about it in a bit, but we hit this weird section of like the political YouTube, the political internet, where fucking, people are getting raging on us about this Rock video we made. All we did was just repeat what The Rock said. And people, what The Rock said, down, what The Rock said. But yeah, people just got fucking mad, dude. So yeah, shout out The Rock, I guess. And speaking of Patreon, I uploaded a video, 28 minutes, wrestlers getting punked for 28 minutes. So go check that out. I've tried to YouTube it. MTV's got such a lock on their shit. I was just going to upload it to YouTube. It wasn't even going to be for Patreon. But yeah, they just have, I couldn't upload it in any way. So I might upload like a choppy, super pointless version that it will be probably hard to watch, just I guess as like a little teaser for it. But if you go to our Patreon, and we're lowering, guys, it's $1 you can get in the Patreon. That should be fixed by the time you hear this episode. And you join up and you get access to 28 minutes of wrestlers getting punked. I pieced together every pro wrestler who got punked on the show punked, and I just thought it was funny. What else do we got to plug, man? Make sure you get up in the Discord, and make sure, you just check out the show, man. What a crazy time. What a crazy couple of weeks. I don't know if it's been a couple of weeks since you last heard from the PWT boys, but it's been a crazy couple of weeks in the world of wrestling, man, and I just can't wait to talk about it. So with all of that being said, let's get into the show, why you guys are fucking here. So moving along to AEW, Full Gear was live from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California, and this event was pretty fucking good, just entirely too much. There was just too much on it. Like, I just don't know when they'll get it, man. And there's so much cope going on, and we see the people now after Survivor Series, they're like, we need to fight back, and we need to swing back and get rid of the rot and all of these things, man. And it's like, bro, we tried to say that from the start. Now you all are trying to say that because you're fucking worried, because it is what it is, man. This got overshadowed big time, but I enjoyed this event, man. Full Gear is pretty good. So 0 Hour kicked off the show. You have Excalibur, you have Tony Schiavone, you have Nigel McGuinness on commentary. And so Rampage and Collision did like a double header show right before this. And they went 3 hours up against SmackDown's 2 hours, and they went head to head. And SmackDown slaughtered them. They did like a 2.3, right? And then AEW did like 200,000. They did like their record low or something, right? And they didn't go, we stacked it up and da-da-da-da-da. But again, it was just the cope of like, WWE's biggest, they had LA Knight and da-da-da. And it's just, they don't get how they're shitting on their own people by saying that. I would never shit on Kenny Omega like that if they brought Kenny Omega in to try and pop a rating, if that's, possible or whatever. I would never shit on that, because that's like what they need to be doing. They need to be focusing on, getting ratings and shit. But anyways, 0 Hour kicks off, man, after the butt kicking they took, but they had a big packed bill. It was like 13K. 13K at Full Gear. Now, mind you, WWE just ran Chicago. They did SmackDown, 16K. They did Survivor Series the next night, 17, almost 18K. Back-to-back nights. Insane. I don't know, they go to California, their go-home show. They had like 3K people in attendance, and they were doing buy one, get one free $20 deals and shit. and they're in the Bucks's, like, isn't this their backyard? You know, it's crazy. So they kick things off with a 0 hour, and there's an ROH World Championship match between Eddie Kingston, who takes on Jay Lethal, with Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, Zatam. So I love Jay Lethal for sure. Stokely Hathaway was on the broadcast booth. It was he was funny. He popped me. This match was fucking whatever. It's just crazy to me that, like, you know, Kingston's this double champ, and I don't know, dude. Like, Jay Lethal, man, talk about just a fumble, you know, just a guy that, like, you could be doing so much more with. He's such a good guy. When he came in AEW, I was so excited. I was like, this is a guy who could have been featured in WWE but wasn't, and we wish, you know, we could see him on the big stage, you know, and this is a big stage, but instead we don't get that. But all good. So he loses, whatever. Karen Jarrett distracts the ref. It's a bunch of gaga bullshit matches, whatever. Then we get Claudio Castagnoli on the pre-show against Buddy Matthews. Now, two guys that I would love. This wasn't like the best match these two could have had, but I don't know, man. Two guys that, like, why the fuck are they on your undercard with Eddie Kingston? So then, and the match was solid, whatever. Claudio hits the Ricola bomb, hits a sharpshooter, makes Buddy tap out. ROH World Tag Team Championship match. Now, this is where this show just gets fucking convoluted and stupid, man. So the Guns, Austin and Colton, they take on Joe and MJF. So Joe and MJF basically squash the Guns, bro. They basically squash them. They hit the 310 to Yuma on Joe. MJF breaks up a pin attempt. It's not like a full squash, but it wasn't like entirely being taken to the limit. But Adam Cole comes down on crutches, and Joe hits a submission, taps out Colton, and then MJF and Adam Cole hug on the outside. After the match, Joe gets in MJF's face. They shake hands. Joe is now in line for a world title shot, right? This is when the Guns jump MJF in front of Cole. Colton held down MJF, and Austin broke his leg with a chair, or whatever they want you to think. So Adam Cole's watching helplessly. The doctor comes in. They stretcher him off. They put MJF in an ambulance, and they go, Adam Cole is gonna, the guy who is on the fucking injured list, okay? Bruh. The guy who's injured has to, who's not allowed to defend his ROH tag title. Are you following me? Is now put in the place to fight Jay White for the world title in the main event. And it's just like, dude. Dummy, yeah. How, oh my God. You know, it's just so offensively bad. Like, all of this doesn't even need the world title, first off. But second off, Adam Cole can't defend his tag title, but Tony Khan sanctioned a match where he can defend a guy's world title that he never even won. That isn't even his. And meanwhile, Samoa Joe vacated his TV title to focus on the world title, but is having squash job matches against jobbers, just like he was when he was the TV champ, and is defending an ROH tag belt, but these injured guys don't have to vacate. It's just such dumb toddler man baby bullshit, bro. Like, this is not good at all. And the devil, who gives a fuck? It's Jack Perry. There you go. Hairline was right. Who gives a fuck about who gives a fuck who the devil is now, you know? So anyways, now the pay-per-view begins. It's the trios match. Edge, Darby Allin, Sting with the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And they take on Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. Now, Nick Wayne has been renamed to the Prodigy Nick Wayne. All the man baby marks are like, oh, Nick Cage was right there. You should call him Nick Cage. And it's just like, man, you guys, like, I'm an AEW. I've never missed an AEW show, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the story. Listen, it's like someone said it on X, and I steal it all the time now. I say it all the time. It's the equivalent of, like, jiggling keys in front of a toddler and them laughing. Like, that's how these people act with some of this shit. Nick Cage. Get the fuck out of here. And Luchasaurus' name is changed to Kill Switch, which is Christian's finisher. It was the Unprettier, and then it's changed to the Kill Switch. You guys know the story. Nick Wayne hits Darby Allin with a cheap shot. The match goes down. Christian and Copeland, Edge, they never tag, or they never touch. They stay apart the whole time, which is smart. Ric Flair starts fucking chopping people. I don't know, man. Christian's taunting Flair. He's chopping Christian. Christian low blows him. He tries to hit Edge with a championship belt. Edge ducks it. Cage hits Luchasaurus by accident. Cage abandons his team. Stinger splash, spear, coffin drop, pin. I don't know, man. I'm not mad at this match. It was just like a Legends Fest. It's what you should expect from like a Legends Fest, and they put it in a good spot for like, New Japan would do that. They kick off the show with like an 8-man. One team is Legends, one team is Lions, so I'm cool with that, but it's just more like Legends and ex WWE vets getting over on young talent that you should be trying to build, and that's all they do in AEW, man. Like it's just so awful. Like the grand scheme is so awful, but that match was whatever. It was good. So Shivani's on the ramp with Rice Remsburg, who's the worst referee on earth, and they call out Bullet Club Gold, and instead Jay White comes out and he's like, tell them, old man. And Shivani's like, MJF can't compete. Adam Cole's got to compete. We talked about that. So then we get into the AEW International Championship match. Orange Cassidy with Hook. Pourquoi? Why is Hook still with them? And then we get, and he takes on John Moxley with Yuta. God damn. And someone showed a pic of that guy who's like, I can't remember his name. Super intense, super dumbass. Super hot fire, whatever. That guy who fucking jumps into shit. That Mark who jumps into shit in his backyard. Jump into a pool of barbed wire on a bunch of Legos or whatever. He's a fucking idiot. Yuta looks exactly like that guy's older brother. And so Moxley comes out and he's got fucking boo-boo face. Taz comes to the commentary booth. And Mox has fucking boo-boo face, man. And he just doesn't want to sell Orange, really. And who would? I don't know, man. He hits Moxley with like 4 orange punches, so he's doing an Ospreay, and it's just like, and what I mean by that is like Will Ospreay fucking like he's worked himself into a corner where like he has to hit 9 finishers in his big matches to finish the match. Like now, if a guy gets beat with one of his like 7 really awesome finishing moves that I love because I love Ospreay, but now he's worked himself like. If you lose to just one of his moves, like you look like a bitch because it takes him like 7 moves to put away Jericho and Omega and Josh Alexander and Mike Bailey. And it's just like, that's what Orange Cassidy's doing. Like already is his move shitty. Oh, he does a back body drop that looks like shit. And he does a Superman punch that looks like shit that he whiffs or hits you with for shoot. He just burying his own move. So I don't know. Moxley does the job. I mean, this match was like I fucking would have skipped it if it wasn't live on PPV. So they announced Tony Khan makes the match official, Switchblade versus Adam Cole. So just, fucking a stupidest storyline ever, anywhere, ever. Mark Briscoe was announced as the next participant in the Continental Classic. So the Continental Classic, which we'll talk about too. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool fucking concept. I'm not entirely... it's not like super exciting for me. TNA's done similar things. New Japan's, it's so funny. They're like, AEW TNA did this like way back in the day. It's hard for American fans to get into this as much, but it's a cool concept. And like with guys like Mark Briscoe in it and Swerve and Jay White, like, there's really, I mean, not much better, like as far as like, yeah, there'll be solid matches and shit, but Eddie Kingston announces that his belts, so his New Japan Strong belt and his ROH World belt, are going to be on the line as well, as whoever wins gets the Continental Championship. Like, I don't know if Tony Khan's trying to do like an Ultimo Dragon thing. Like he's just marking out for belts. There's another belt. So there's the Continental Championship and the International Championship. What a fucking, I said it from jump, make your title the All Continental Championship. And then it's like the Intercontinental, but instead of the IC belt, it's your AC belt, and you can call it the All Continental belt, and that can be your secondary. But instead, it's just another belt, and Hook's got a belt, and everyone's got belts. It's just so bad, and people, I get it. They're like, no, we like when they don't do the outside thing, but it just undermines everything else, man. It's like in certain instances, Ring of Honor and New Japan means more in AEW than fucking AEW does. Do you understand why that's stupid? Yes, did Jushin Thunder Liger come with his New Japan belt in WCW? Yeah, but it didn't undermine the world's heavyweight title. It never did that, you know, and that's what they do consistently. So it's like they got to really revamp this product, man. But we get the women's championship match, Hikaru versus Timeless Tony Storm with Luther the Butler. Solid match. Tony cheats throughout. She throws the script away. She goes off script and everything. She pauses for her facial, her close up. She had like a butt plate that, like, girl, if you're gonna do the butt plate spot, you can't have that juicy booty hanging out the bottom. You know what I mean? You got to be not wearing such short shorts. Although I'm not complaining about that, but you know, it was right in front of Aubrey Edwards' fucking face, and she didn't do or say anything. But Tony wins with the running butt strike in the corner, the hip attack with like a metal plate. So I don't know. I liked it, but it was what it was, and she's now like a three-time AEW Women's Champion. Good. She's the most over lady in the company, and she should have that belt because, like we said before, her just prancing around and doing weird stuff in the background is better than their wrestling half the time on this show. So, and shout out Sheeta. I love her, and this was a solid match. I mean, it wasn't like the best match ever, but I like these guys. So Mariah May walks out and hands Tony Storm a bouquet of flowers. Cringe. Like, does anyone even know that Mariah May can wrestle? Good on her for just taking this dude's money and not wrestling, but okay. So Renee Paquette's backstage with Eddie Kingston. That's when he announces all the belts are on the line. Who gives a fuck? So we have an AEW World Tag Team Championship ladder match. Big Bill and Absolute Ricky Starks, the champs, versus FTR, Cash and Dax, versus LFI, Drilistico and Roosh, and versus Kings of the Black Throne, Brody King and Malachi Black. This match, and again, oh, W, you're so used to W. It's just like, dude, are they called the House of Black or Kings of the Black Throne? Well, when it's these two, they're Kings of the Black Throne. Okay, but they came into AEW as like how with this House of Black faction. So I don't know, man. It's the same thing I criticize with the Best Friends. Okay, are they the fucking Roppongi Vice, or are they the Best Friends, or are they on AEW? You need to establish what's AEW. Are they part of Chaos? You know, just tell me. Like I get it because I'm an Uber Mark. Most people don't. You got to tell people what they're buying and why they're buying it. So anyways, this match was crazy. A bunch of spots. It was just crazy. Bodies on the line. I love this. Now, no one's ever going to replicate those old TLC matches from back in the day, but fuck, this was cool. A lot of these spots, fuck, a lot of them, they don't rig no ladders there in AEW. So shit was looking like it hurt like a motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know, dude. This was just a crazy match, but Big Bill and Starks get the titles back. They're a good duo together. I mean, again, I always say they'd both be great in WWE, but shout out Big Bill. Like, that's, you know, his first major title, I think, in any wrestling promotion. So good for him, man. And FTR, man, they're just kind of, I don't know. They're just kind of, you know, I don't like, who really cares right now? And I love FTR. You guys know that, but it's just their fans hate them. We need to remove the rot and the poison. That's what they're saying. And it's like Dax and Cash and Ricky Starks. And they just hate anyone who, I don't know, man, does good business over there, it seems like, but whatever. And then we had the TBS Championship match. Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. Oh, my God. So Julia Hart steals the win. We'll just jump the gun, but I'm going to say it for the millionth time, man. Sky Blue, a creepy chick. It's just fucking cringe. We got two creepy chicks doing creepy missed spots and shit. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I have no idea. I swear it's like Tony Khan saw Sky Blue doing that black leather photo shoot. Was like, oh, I know. Let's get her all spooky and in black leather. Like, I swear, dude, it's so cringe to me. I don't know. I can't even explain it. I used to say Sky Blue and Cora Jade were like the same. And then Cora Jade broke off and started being all badass and spooky. And then now it's like what Sky Blue's doing. And it's just like, I've had enough of these spooky girls, bro. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. Julia Hart gets the win. And shout her out, man, big time. She's really over with people. She does that shoot moonsault. And I didn't expect that title win, but, you know, good. I guess these ladies will volleyball this belt around now, too, a bunch. I don't know if Julia Hart needed the belt. Maybe she did, but it's just like, Statlander, aren't you trying to build her up? Maybe they want her going after Tony next, which would be nice. So I don't know, man. She steals the belt. Good for her. Tony Schiavone comes in the ring for the blockbuster contract signing, and everybody knew who it was, man. It was Will fucking Ospreay comes down to the ring, and he comes down to the ring, and shout out Will Ospreay, but he's 30. It's announced he signed for like 8 years. And so he's there. He's a for lifer in AEW, guys. And I don't know, man. I feel like he's been there and done that. Now would have been the time to where now Tony probably put in his contract, I guarantee you'll win the world title and headline Wembley next year. I guarantee you that's like it written in the contract. That's a promise, which is cool, man. Give him his flowers. He's one of the greatest pro wrestlers in the world, but he should have tried to take it to the next level, bro. He's one of those guys who could be a household name. He could be a Seth Rollins in fucking Marvel movies and whatever. Maybe he doesn't care about that. But he's a guy who I just feel like, man, it's time for you to take it to the next level. And you've been there and done that in AEW. They're in a fucking lull. You know, you already did the Wembley. You did it all. Go to WWE. Show the world who I know you can be. And I'm not going to say, oh, I know it's better for the boys. Tony Khan clearly backed the Brinks truck up to Ospreay's house, man. Good for him. But and I'm pumped to see what he'll do in AEW. But you know what, man? Him versus Rollins, and like that's like half a year storytelling right there, you know? AEW is just going to blow off all these matches. Like everyone's like, here's all the people he hasn't faced before. This guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. And it's like, that's just it. You guys are just marking out for fantasy matches like WWE 2K, you know? Like I want to see him go to that next level. But not only that, what made this stupid is he announced, I'm signed, but I'm not exclusive here, and I'm not going to start here right away. I'm going to go finish up in New Japan and do my other dates, and then I'll come here. So it's like, why didn't they just announce it when he was exclusive and we'd only see him on AEW? And that's part of the problem. Like, you know, I don't need to only, like, I can watch Wrestling Revolution, Rev Pro or whatever the fuck, and see Ronda Rousey show up there with Athena. I don't need to watch it in AEW or Ring of Honor. Like, you know, Eddie Kingston's in New Japan. I don't need to watch AEW to just see Eddie Kingston if I'm an Eddie Kingston fan. I don't mean to take it to this, but earlier in the show, I talked about streamlining the content, doing what's best for business, right? You need to streamline what is yours. Make it apparent. Tell people what is yours, man. Keep it all cohesive and concise under one umbrella. AEW does not do that. Not to bring it to that shit, but AEW does not do that. And they're not streamlining this shit in a way that's conducive of, I don't know, capitalizing on what they potentially have or had. I think it's toast now fully. But then we get into the Texas death match that just drove everyone insane. Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. Prince comes out with the dancers. He's fucking, I don't know, he's over his shit. He got this whole dance over. Swerve's over his shit. He's looking like $1 million. Hangman did smart business here, and he hit the ring. He didn't do his entrance because he would have got less of a pop, and he's supposed to be the babyface, right? Hangman comes out, just attacks him. Man, these guys are getting hit with chairs. As Jim Cornette put it, he stapled his titties or whatever. Someone said that, right? So they're doing staple gun spots to the face, tables, fucking cinder blocks, man. And this match was awesome. I felt like it went a smidge too long. And this was like a last man standing Texas death. I don't know. They kind of flubbed up the names or the rules or whatever, but it was basically you can only win by TKO or quitting. So like you got to lay there for 10 seconds, right? I don't know, man. Swerve hit a pile driver on the guardrail, which was crazy. Fucking, they're getting slammed on glass, cinder blocks, all this crazy shit, which is awesome. This is how you blow off a big blood feud. It's also good that there was the 10 count because people were just standing up and it wasn't like they're kicking out of shit. There's barbed wire. There's all this shit. The big spot, though, was that got everybody mad. At one point, Hangman grabs Swerve's head and he drinks the blood and he spits it in the air. Ooh, I'm a vampire. La. Dracula Page. Hangman Dracula Page. Because, I mean, now everyone melted down about this, whether you're for it or against it. I didn't care one fucking bit about this spot at all. I'm an MMA mark. I've seen Michael Chandler's nose get broken and exploded all over his face, and he starts trying to drown his opponent, and he starts rubbing his blood all over his opponent's fucking nose and mouth to try and like suffocate him with the blood and shit. Like I've seen that. It doesn't bother me whatsoever if everyone's getting tested the way they should be. I think it's fucked just knowing what we know about like, you know, some of these things. I mean, I don't know. Is it insensitive? No. Should people have reacted the way they did? No. Was it a cool visual? Yeah, it was pretty fucking hardcore and badass. Did I care? No, dude. I mean, there's people who've been sentenced to being caned to death in parts of the world. And I watched Sandman cane Tommy Dreamer to fucking death before, right? Like these are things that it just didn't bother me at all. And when I saw everyone in an uproar, I just really couldn't believe it. But that being said, like for me, my critique of it was they just set it up dumb. Why the fuck would Hangman grab his head and just start drinking the blood? It would have been, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the guy to think of it just on the fly like this, but there's a way to set that up where I just feel like it would have been even cooler than. But I don't sit there and go, "Oh, that was cool." I just went, "Whoa, this guy's a savage." Like this is a blood feud. But people being mad about that, like, bro, I've watched BJ Penn beat Sean Shirk into a bloody pulp and then lick the blood off his hands and his gloves, bro. I don't know. It just really did not offend me. And I loved the match, honestly. And this was a coming out party for Swerve. What I didn't like was the next Wednesday, Swerve wasn't selling shit from the match on the Continental Classic, and like he wasn't selling it. And it was like, come on. And yeah, so Brian Cage comes out, helps with the schmoz. It ends where Swerve hangs Hangman with a chain. And then other people are going, it's a lynching. And if it were the other way around, people would say it was a lynching. And maybe they're right. If it was the other way around, maybe people, that would have been bad optics, though. I don't fucking know. But Hangman, I don't know. I thought he was hanging the Hangman. I thought it was cool. And yeah, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned on this show, I don't know. And Jim Cornette was like, he hung him and then the ref counted to 10, and I've seen people regurgitating that online, and it's like, no, you just didn't watch the match, because no, he didn't. He hung him and then he laid there and he fucking sold it forever like he was dead, and then he got counted out. So yeah, I just did not I don't know why this match stirred up so much like it was rank as fuck, but there was the spot where they're on the top rope and the barbed wire accidentally wrapped around dude's face, and they just were selling it great. It was savage. It was crazy. It was just fuck, because they already had a ladder match with so much carnage, right? And to me, like, if you're gonna do this, save it for one spot of the show, or have it go on second. Like, do it near the end. Like, I don't know if they placed it in the right spot, because it's like, how the fuck do you follow this? Which we're gonna talk about. It didn't get followed. I don't know, man. It's Swerve's time. Like, he should be a world champion. MJF, like, he's going to reign forever. That's the whole thing. I think that's why Tony's making all these belts, because he thinks he's just going to put belts on people to try and keep them happy. Well, because, okay, so we're all like, Swerve should be champion. And then but MJF's their reigning champ and isn't giving the belt up anytime soon. He's doing, like, they're probably going to try and set him up on his little Roman Reigns run. Like, they're bringing Will Ospreay in. So when? Is he the one who dethrones MJF at Wembley? That'll probably be what it is. But at the same time, it's like, goddamn, son, everyone wants everyone to be a champ. It just don't work that way. But Swerve is on the cusp. And it's like, I don't think MJF needs the world title in this story. Take it off MJF, put on Swerve, dog. Anyways, we get a tag team title opportunity versus a tag team breakup match. Is that what this really was? What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ. So we get the Golden Jets, Jericho and Omega, and they take on Matt and Nick Jackson, and then Don Callis joins the commentary booth, and it's like, you guys just buried the Callis family. You guys get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't even want to see you guys after that bullshit from Dynamite. And I said it, man, this would have been a solid go-home match show for the pay-per-view, like the go-home show leading into the pay-per-view. This would have been solid. But this match was what it was. It was just the Bucks doing the same old shit, and they're in California, and the Bucks are getting booed. They're in their backyard. They're wearing Kobe Bryant pants. They're playing the heels. They lose the match, right? So Jericho and Kenny get the Bucks' tag team title opportunity, which, watch them beat Starks and Bill. Because Jericho's just Jericho Hogan. He's just here to get himself over, brother. He's just here to get himself over. He doesn't care about anything else, man. And he's just burying younger talent. And he gets all of his wins back. If he loses to someone, he gets his win back. It's fucking Hulk Hogan, okay? So no one can debate that. And yeah, and then the Bucks throw a fucking temper tantrum, bro. They throw a temper tantrum. and wreck the ring. Now, apparently they're set for a re-debut and they're going away. Didn't they just get paid NBA level contracts, the biggest in tag wrestling history? Are you fucking, they're the EVPs. Are you fucking kidding me? They're gonna, oh, if things aren't going their way, they're gonna be rebranded with a heel turn, with a faction and all this stuff. It's just too little. Weren't you guys already heels? What do you mean you're gonna be rebranded with it? And then being the elite went away. Their show went away too. Which it's like, good. It should have went away when fucking AEW started, or it should have just became a full-on blog with little The problem is that they expected that show to bleed into their main AEW storylines and shit. You cannot do that. It's fucking crazy. So this match was what it was, man, but they throw a hissy fit. I don't know. It's just funny to me. So then we get into the main event time, the AEW World Championship match. Adam Cole comes out on crutches. Switchblade Jay White's out there. They pull the Stone Cold Steve Austin, and MJF drives up. He stole the ambulance. He drove to the arena in an ambulance. So now they're both hurt and can't defend, but then Tony let the guy who can't defend, but then, and it's not even his belt, but now MJF's back, so now he can defend. So what the fuck is even good? Like, it's so bad. They're just copying WWE. They're trying to do Attitude Era moments. MJF's getting less over with me. This is a phenomenal fucking match. Do not get me wrong. And MJF did the, I think I said it on the last show. He sprinted and did the cutter where he just like high jumped the fucking rope, grabbed the cutter to the outside. That was spectacular. The match was great. Switchblade, though, a lot of people are saying he's buried, and he kind of is buried, bro. He got beat by a one-legged man, and not only that, but I don't know, a one-legged man who already wrestled, and apparently Jay White was a little disgruntled and unhappy about that. Now that could be dirt sheet rumors, probably is. The dirt sheets lost all credibility after Survivor Series. Like, that being said, man, he might have been a little upset with that, and who wouldn't be, man? Like, that's a big star. Imagine what he'd be doing in WWE right now, bro. They're going to Perth and shit. Like, I know he's from New Zealand or Australia, I believe. I think New Zealand, but that's close. Like, they're right next to each other there, and it's like, you can't tell me he wouldn't want to be going to Perth for Elimination Chamber or whatever. Like, instead of whatever this is, right? Like, which is good. I mean, he's featured in the main event, but then he goes and does the Continental Classic. Now he's just a guy in the Continental Classic. And if I have to put money on anything, Jay White's going to win the whole thing. But I mean, what consolation is that, really? Like, just being given 3 belts. And Jay White's banned from New Japan as well. So maybe he won't win because the New Japan strong belts on I don't know. It's so convoluted. There's too much. It's convoluted. So this match was what it was. This match was unreal, though. The Uranagi off the top, a bunch of these spots, the selling. I don't know. Just 2 great, phenomenal workers. They're chanting, "He's our scumbag," though. I don't know. AEW fans just cheer for cool shit. They don't care about like heel and baby. They just cheer for what's cool. So that's cool, I guess. But MJF laid it all on the line. A bunch of solid false finishes, whatnot. And then the legs getting worked over. Basically what happens is MJF cheats to win. He gets the Dynamite Diamond Ring, clocks Jay White with it. He loses. Apparently he's pissed. I don't know. It was what it was. This was an okay pay-per-view, though, overall. Just too much shit. You could have left like 3 or 4 of these matches off and just had these crazy bangers, and it would have been a phenomenal pay-per-view. That being said, afterwards, Adam Cole, the video of the devil, like this last Dynamite, where the devil's laughing, ha ha ha, it sounds like Jack Perry trying to laugh and sound like a cool, like a spooky devil guy. So I'm more inclined to think it's Jack Perry now. Also, someone posted this thread on X, and I wish I had it in front of me, but fuck, it was compelling, and it really, really convinced me that it's Jack Perry. However, I have pointed out numerous times, whenever Adam Cole's at the building, the devil hasn't showed up. Whenever he isn't there and he's showing up on FaceTime, the devil shows up on screen. The devil showed up on screen and laughed last time. Here's the thing. Adam Cole, people are pointing out, it looked like he put his hand in his pocket and was doing something. So they could go back to that later and go, yeah, I hit a remote for the Tron in my pants, and fucking I brought the devil on the screen. Like, I've been the devil this whole time. However, there's just a lot of compelling evidence to say it's Jack Perry. And also, the last time we saw Jack Perry, was at Wembley, and the last time we saw the Devil Mask was hanging above MJF at Wembley. So my Swerve, double Swerve, it's Adam Cole and Jack Perry. Dun, dun, dun. Let me hit some fucking X-Files for that. It's both of them. Yeah, so that was Full Gear. And so let's move on to more head-to-head action. AEW went head-to-head with Survivor Series. He's like, oh, we'll try it out and maybe. So now let's move along to fucking Survivor Series. Yeah. This is where the big shit happens, where the big boys play. Let's be honest. People are just, I mean, you want to call me a fucking WWE shill now? Good. No, just kidding. But it just is what it is. Like, it's fucking toast. As we mentioned earlier, you know, they're putting up LeBron numbers. They're putting up Kobe numbers. They're putting up Jordan numbers, man. They go back to back in Chicago and sell like 40,000 fucking tickets. This is your WrestleMania. Craziness. So AEW decided, let's go head to head with a Collision Rampage against Survivor Series. Why? I don't know, but clearly WWE took that personally because they just announced that Raw tonight at the time of me recording, CM Punk and Orton will be there, and the first hour will be commercial free. They are trying to put up they want to hit like a 3 milli, which they should fucking, let's go. Wrestling's back, you guys. Wrestling's back, and now people are coping, and we're going to talk about some of it, but motherfuckers are sitting there going, oh, the real wrestling, AEW saved pro wrestling. No, they didn't. Competition makes everyone healthy. They didn't do anything to capitalize on other than throw money at big names who were just, you know, and that's it. They didn't make the best stories. They didn't come up with the best angles. They didn't pack the house. They didn't do any feats, you know. They don't give us moments, you know. Moments are so key. They don't do a house show loop. Like, and they think they're going to survive by not doing house show loops and shit. That's crazy, man. People don't touch enough in AEW. That's why WWE shit's so polished, man. They touch all the time. And that's so important. That's so important. Okay? It makes you able to go work with anyone. Yeah, there's guys who can go work with anyone. For sure. You know, but this show showed and proved that. So, the show kicked off, man. War Games. There was a kickoff show. No matches were on it, but what was the just like churches in black masses? Oh Lord, and bam bam and bam 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 sugar down now. Woo, that's the shit. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, the Cringe Lord, and Bianca Belair took on Damage Control, Asuka, Bayley, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane with Dakota Kai. They set it off with the women's War Games match. I thought for sure the bad guys were going to win. I thought for sure. So I was pleasantly surprised here. The women went out there and did every fucking table spot, cane spot, chair spot. Io Sky climbed up the cage, put a trash can on her head and fucking cross-bodied on everyone. I think she did that spot in NXT. Phenomenal. Everyone was popping that I was sitting with. They did the I like this Io Sky more than Asuka and Kairi. I want Io and Sky to team up. Or pardon me, Io and Kairi to team up more because to me, they just work so well together. And they did like a pop-up insane elbow onto a bunch of chairs on Bianca. Just an awesome carnage mayhem spots. You know, I was putting it over on the AEW pay-per-view. I put it over here too. But I was sitting there going, what the fuck are the men gonna have to do? But oh, little did I forget that psychology, storytelling, work, guys who know what they're doing. When you have baby faces, when you have 5 baby faces as over as the ones you had in the main event for WWE, and you have heels as fucking with as much heat as Judgment Day, you can do no wrong, bro. And I was sitting here going, man, they're really fucking up the rest of the, like, what is anyone going to do in the men's War Game match? Like, it's crazy they're doing all this, but we'll circle back to that. So this match was great, but the manhandle slam through the table, and then they pinned him. And the heels did a great job of we want tables, and then they tease it, and then they never brought a table in. And then they only used the table at the very end with the manhandles. It was to get the big pop to go. It's just brilliant. The psychology. This is what they don't like. You go, psychology is better in WWE. And then these fanatics, these NPCs will go, oh, so like what? He didn't sell his leg in the match? Like MJF didn't sell his leg? It's like, yeah, bro, that is a piece of psychology, but it's the things like everyone wants the table. They're going to try, we want a table. They're going to do it every War Games match until you give them one, save it for the very end when they explode. And then that's the biggest, that's the other things. That's the beats to the story. And then the way Bayley took the pin. It was Bayley who took the pin. She's getting her ass kicked the fuck out of Damage Control. And I can't wait for it. I'm here for it. I'm super intrigued in Damage Control now. This match was pretty solid. Babyface girls win. That's awesome. So then backstage, we see, speaking of the boys in the main event, they're going, Randy Orton's still not here. We don't know where, but he'll be here. But if he doesn't show up, it's not my fault. And Seth just walks away. He's had enough, which we'll talk about later. But he's had enough with all this shit. He's about to turn heel again soon. I can feel it. Because he's just like, you know what? This is whatever. So he leaves. We go to the ring for the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Gunther. Now, when the babyface women won the War Games, I, in my head, was like, okay, so now the men babyface team has to lose the War Games. But there's no way they do that with Orton coming back. He's going to RKO everyone and fucking beat them. I was like, so what's going to happen here? And I tweeted this out. I X'd it out. You can go look at prowrestletimes. Yeah. I was like, dude, they're going to have all the heels win all of these matches now in between. So it'll be big babyface win, bunch of heels win, big babyface win. And I was correct about that. So the Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther versus Miz. Man, I love Gunther. This is a technical match. People shit on the Miz. They're like, oh, this would be good for Raw. It's like, go fuck yourself. And it has been. Gunther has been off of every pay-per-view doing the go-home shows for the pay-per-views, defending his title. And then they put him in there with the Miz, who was in there with Cena and the Rock guys, okay? This is a great rub for both guys. And Miz showed he could really wrestle. He's supposed to be the babyface, but he hits a fucking low blow. So that shit pissed me off a bit. Gunther beat the fuck out of Miz, though. Put him in a Boston Crab. Adjusted it to the Lion Tamer. Miz tapped out clean. I love it. Gunther just beats the shit out of people. He just wrestles. I love it. Your longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. He came out with no Imperium either. Just by himself, man. The Ring General. Another solid match, carrying the pay-per-view along. In the back, and they knew that they could do this. Again, they knew. So Tony Khan's like, I know, let's just load 700 crazy fucking matches on one card, every card. And then it's like, yeah, this is awesome. And fragmented moments. Even MJF said this. He's like, yeah, you see El Hijo del Vikingo. You don't know who he is. You see him in a fucking segment of a moment. And that's a great moment. But overall, he's not a great wrestler. These people aren't, like, you just see clips of them online. That's what AEW is. Like, yes, if you take each match individually, there's a lot of good you can say about a lot of these matches. But at some point, it's the overarching picture of it all. So in WWE, they went, look, we can have another Rhea squash. We can put Gunther in a big position here with The Miz, and we can get Dragon Lee with Escobar, which we could just do on Raw, but we can put that on here and carry this storyline across and give these guys the rub on a show that's going to make crazy headlines. And just only off of Orton coming back, let alone the big surprise they had at the end. And they just know, like, so they just know what they're doing on a level that if you don't appreciate this, you don't like wrestling. You don't like the wrestling business. You like fucking matches and flips, which is fine. Do you, but stop getting mad. And that's the thing we're going to talk about with these marks. Like, they're all getting mad and talking. They're not talking about the Continental Classic. They're talking about fucking Punk and Survivor Series and shit. And how everyone's traitors and they've been done so wrong. A bunch of victims, man. It's just, woe is me. So anyways, in the back, Dominic Mysterio tells Judgment Day that Randy Orton still ain't there. And Balor said he won't show up. It'll be 5-on-4. Yeah. So then we get Dragon Lee versus Escobar. And again, the heel wins. He hits the battle driver, pins Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee looked great. He's had some great showings since his debut. He's still very young. The people I was with were popping for fucking the moves Dragon Lee was hitting. Fucking all kinds of cool shit, man. Dives over the ropes, Spanish flies. I think I tweeted out, if you like AEW, watch this match. If you like Lucha and AEW spots, watch this match, dude. They're going crazy right now. So it was a solid fucking match. Carried the show along. But I was kind of feeling like, damn, man. when's that War Games match start? Not that I want the event to last all night. Don't get it wrong. I watch wrestling all the time, but I was kind of like, okay, those were like two good, those could be on Raw matches, But then that's when Mommy comes out, the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. Honestly, I wasn't super invested in this match because I had told everybody already on the show, this is just, Rhea's just going to beat Zoe, and good, but I mean, again, they could do this on a go home, but Rhea's just a star. She has it. She's the most over and most talented woman all around in professional wrestling today, bar none. Mommy looked great. Got to stay hydrated, folks. Mommy looked great. She looked like $1 million. I don't know. Zoe had this war paint on. I think Zoe and Shotzi are just both cringe. And then, yeah, Rhea just hits the Riptide, gets the win. Solid match. We all knew it was going to happen. Backstage, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso ask Seth Rollins if he's heard from Randy. He said he hasn't heard anything. Cody says he will be here, don't worry. Before this, and sometime throughout the night, we already know Randy Orton's coming back. That blew the roof off the shit. They also re-debuted R-Truth in a Slim Jim commercial with Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly, who are so fucking over with me. And R-Truth did a little Slim Jim action. Shout out R-Truth. And he's back now. Hopefully he wrestles. Hopefully he's doing shit. Beyond that, he was in the crowd too, like dancing to Jey Uso's music before the men's War Game match. And yeah, hopefully he's on TV again. He's funny. He's awesome. And it was funny. They're like, where have you been? And he's like, I've been here this whole time. It's just hilarious. And yeah, they're really selling Ruffles on this show. You got motherfuckers on the kickoff eating Ruffles and Ruffles everywhere. Ruffles sponsored that whole women's War Game match. And that's what they mean, guys, by people were like, yeah, we don't want to, like, it's so funny. AEW puts advertisements and DraftKings and shit on their mat. Oh, it's so cool. When WCW has Slim Jim on the mat, it's so cool. When WWE says we're going to do more brand stuff. Oh, yeah, no, I don't want. It's like, you guys, they're just going to do it like they did the Ruffle Chip thing. There'll be a backstage segment and then they'll have Ruffle Chip highlights everywhere, That's what they're going to do. So they swerved us. There was an R-Truth debut and Randy Orton's enough. And it was enough, man. And I watched this match 2 or 3 times already. I watched Randy Orton's re-debut and like his little opening spots, sequences, if you will, what he was doing. I watched those like 400 fucking times. I watched the Punk return like 7,000 times already. I'm going to just, go through my shit here. Pretty much, like, we're swerved. There's no way we think Punk's coming back, but we'll get to all that. So the match kicks off. I can't remember who starts the match, but nonetheless, the match is what it is. There's no hardcore spots. They're throwing him into the cage. Seth's fired up, but there's no like hardcore spots, no table spots, really, no chairs. Maybe there's a couple of those. There's no trash cans. They did all that in the women's match. They're just using the fact that all of these guys are super over and have a shit ton of heat. They're relying on their good work. They're relying on the psychology of using the 2 rings and the cages, and they're relying on the storytelling, which Triple H talked about in the press conference. He's like, we hit the story on every beat. Everybody got their story in there on all levels, and they did, man. They did so much, and so much of this is what it's all about. This match is going on. It's great. Everyone's over. Pretty much we assume Orton's going to be there, right? So basically what happens is the time counts down. No one comes out for the men's team. Rhea Ripley's music hits. So much heat, dude. The crowd's like, oh, fuck that. And she runs down with the briefcase. She's going to cash it in, and Priest is going to win the world heavyweight title in the middle of this fucking match. And so as that's going on, right before she can cash in, boom, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. Randy Orton, man, he comes out. He's fucking jacked up, dog. He's just jacked up. And he comes out. He's popping. He looks in the camera. Again, new WWE. You're allowed to look in the camera and shit. You're allowed to do all that shit. I don't know, man. The crowd erupts for him. Like, huge. Mega were so excited to see this guy back. He comes in the ring, he hits his fucking snap power slam, and he hits he grabs him, he does the rope drape DDT, and he's just snapping, and he's like, hoo, ha, lee, ah, and then he hits it, dude. And if you pay attention to Orton, he always does, like, you know, when wrestlers go like, like, you know, they do like that breathing thing to try and like put shit over. He always does that where he breathes out the one side of his mouth, like he always does that. He's always done it. If you go look, I don't know what he's doing, but that's just always what he's done. But this time he just snapped and he was like, well, like it was like some anime shit. I don't even know. And he just drilled homeboy with the fucking DDT. It was awesome. And then he goes to set up the RKO. Everyone pops, man. The crowd erupts. But then he turns to face Jay. And then he's like, look, motherfucker, I didn't forget nothing. Judgment Day swarm Randy. Again, just more storytelling, man. As Randy's facing off with Jay, Priest runs to attack Randy. And Jay hits him with a super kick and lays him out and shows him, like, look, I'm cool, bro. So then they all hit the draping DDTs. Or maybe I got that out of order. It doesn't fucking matter. What happens is only JD's left, and he's standing there looking at all the baby faces. He's going, oh, fuck. Actually, yeah, what we see is a sequence of, like, Orton hits an RKO, Rollins hits a stomp, Cody hits a Cody cutter, right? Whatever. And then Jay hits a, from one ring to the other, body splash, right? Superfly splash. And then they're all the heels are wasted. And then JD's just standing there and he's like, oh shit. So he tries to run and get away from the, from all the baby faces. And Sami Zayn's in this match too. Shout him out, because we're not talking about him enough, you know, but he's just playing his part. And so JD's at the top of the fucking cell. Zayn and Rollins climb up there and chase him. They beat him up. Orton standing down there. The crowd knows what's coming. Shout out JD McDonough, man. They fucking throw him off of the top of the cell and Orton catches him in the RKO. Boom. Drills him. Beautiful timing. Like the most expert timing. Cody pins him. 1, 2, 3. Keeps everyone strong. No even Gaga in the War Games. No blood. I like it. There's some blood, but they didn't need it. They relied on storytelling, good working, Orton being back, and as Triple H said in the press conference, it's cool to just put him in an environment where he can just be him and do his thing and not have to worry. Like, he can just go out there, hit his spots, and that's great to get him in there in his first time back in so long, you know? Man, the roof's blown off the place. The pay-per-view's great. Everyone's like, that's awesome, man. That's incredible. Like, fucking, I was so satisfied, and I'm sitting there going, word. The copyright logo comes up, and that's when WWE pulled its ginormous dick out and dropped a motherfucking bomb. Look in my eyes, what do you see? I'm everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. CM Punk comes back. Nice new haircut. He looks tanned. He looks jacked. I told you, motherfuckers. Dummies.
Dummy, yeah.
I told you, motherfuckers. I told you, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because, dude, on the MMA side, there was just the rumors, bro, that he was... Now, they say Endeavor and them didn't have nothing to do with the deal. You can't tell me Punk didn't talk to Dana. They're boys. He talked to Dana. Was someone new on that end, for sure. But I do believe that Triple H got the deal together quickly with Nick Khan. And as Triple H said, which I'm going to play you from the press conference, you know, it's not the same WWE. It's not the same company. He said, if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, you messed up. You did something wrong. You got to let bygones be bygones, man. Some things just aren't important in life. Beefing back in the day, Triple H doesn't even wrestle anymore. And I told you guys, Endeavor, TKO, all these guys, they want to be in the Punk business. And we'll get into it. But Punk came out and I called it, and now people are, all the dirt sheets who said Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer, oh, Punk's not going to be there. We were told, nope, he's not going to be there. All of you lost all credibility. I hope everyone unsubscribes from your bullshit. They're probably, I could just picture Meltzer and Alvarez with schmarmy looking fucking faces as they're watching the end of Survivor Series. Well, we told you so. Punk showed up. You're all wrong. You're all wrong. And then now they have the inside scoop about the drama, and they have, this is how the deal came together. Now you guys have the scoop, really? Now you got the scoop. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Dummy. Yeah.
Bunch of crock of horse shit bullshit. Those guys are marks. They're all dead. Listen to PWT. Top pot in, because I knew it was gonna happen, man. I just knew it was gonna happen. We're gonna talk about it. There's a bunch of drama. So, anyways, let's drop a round of applause for Survivor Series. Like, what an incredible event. Not even incredible event, just moments. And I tweeted out and I triggered people. I think I did it on the YouTube community section. Check out Pro Wrestle Clips. Yeah, our community section's popping. But and even in our polls, man, the majority of people said Punk would not return, man. And I held out and I thought he would. And I'm glad he did. And that was the dagger in the heart of AEW. They're cooked. And now there's all these people melting down and like, remove the rot from AEW. And just like burying the talent that are in AEW. Yeah, that's what the culture they've cultivated with these people, man. They've galvanized this weird niche subsection where these people are like shitting on current AEW talent who are there for another 4 fucking years because they want Tony to take it seriously and revamp. Now, Tony, we need to do something better. We need to really? So I was just an asshole this whole time saying that stuff. But now, let's, it's just so fucking funny. And none of them are talking about the Continental Classic. They're all melting down just talking about Punk. We'll talk about what you guys got going on. I thought Roosh and Jay White and Roosh my favorite motherfucker. Jay White's my favorite motherfucker. I thought that was going to be the game changer. Was this tournament garnered the hype? Where's the hype? Where is it? Jack Perry killed your fucking company. The Young Bucks taking victory laps turned it to fucking TNA now, guys. Start filming out of Universal. You're toast. It's toast now. Saddens my heart. The one shot we had at ever having competition, like they didn't even get a chance to compete with Raw. They competed with NXT for a bit. That's it. Tony Khan calling people bald assholes and all this, blaming them for his shortcomings. And now you got people blaming your own talent, eating each other alive because that's what you wanted. You wanted them to be and act that way. It's just funny that happened. I got to be completely honest. And yeah, dude, CM Punk is back. Now there's drama that ensued. So immediately after, a Survivor Series went off air and the crowd just fucking erupted for Punk, the CM Punk chants. He's home, truly. Gotta hydrate. H2O, baby. Afterward, Drew McIntyre storms out of the ring before Punk shows up. So we obviously saw him in Gorilla, and they're cool. But apparently, Drew, all the dirt sheets now, they're not happy. Several talent aren't happy. They're just making shit up. And Drew was slamming lockers and all this. Drew cut a promo in regards to this at a house show last night or whatever. And he said nothing about, he like put over that it's a work. And not only that, clearly they're working. All the main eventers knew. You're a fucking dumb mark. Yes, I'm going that hard body on you. If you think they weren't working, if you don't think they were just working, you're a fucking idiot, okay? And they're already capitalizing on the work, shoot, backstage drama, heat angles, that the backstage fights, the shit that AEW was too afraid and unprofessional to pull the trigger on that would have changed their whole business around. That's what WWE's capitalizing on. So they had Seth Rollins freaking out and going, fuck this motherfucker, and Punk taunting him. Seth going, fuck this guy, and Michael Cole holding him back, and he's going, I'm going to knock this fucking guy out. But again, they waited till it was off air. They waited till they were off air. They've done this multiple times. And all of those people who did the great work going, look, I think this is Punk in these graphics. It was. They white rabbited us. That's who Nakamura's talking about. Oh, well, where was Nakamura? I don't know. Tonight on Raw, Punk's going to cut a promo. Nakamura's going to come out and fucking Kinshasa him from behind or something. Who fucking, maybe he's going to go, yeah, bitch, I was calling you out, and Punk will have a match. We know Punk was going to go wrestle on Collision every week, right? We know he's willing to do that, make the towns wrestle in front of 3,000 people to try and make a difference. You guys, this isn't the same WWE. So I want to play you guys some clips that we are going to react to. Let's just, while we're on the topic of Seth freaking out and Seth has real heat and he really wants to knock him out and me. Okay, here's what Seth Rollins had to say about CM Punk on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul. Yeah, this is what he had to say about that back then.
I'm a professional, so like if we can work together, we can work together. Things that happen outside of here, that is what it is, you know. But like he apologized, and we mended fences, and I'm all about like I don't write anybody off. I'm not like one of those guys that's like no second chances. You do wrong by me, I hate you forever. Like I'm not that stubborn. It's not that serious, man. Like unless you do some real nasty stuff, but like you know everybody makes mistakes. So like I'm all about like forgiveness, second chances, what have you. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You know. I'll forgive, not always forget, but you know I'm willing to move forward. And so he was a big man about it, came forward and apologized, and we were able to work together. And I'm happy for that.
There you go. So you think Seth is working? This fucking feud's gonna go crazy, bro. The real world champion as well versus the world heavyweight title. It would be awesome. I don't think they do it right away, but it would be dope if CM Punk came out with that red bag. Everyone's saying it now as well. Listen to PWT. Yeah, because I said it before anyone, like I always do. I always do. I'm 10 steps ahead of you motherfuckers. I said it the day one he was fired from Wembley. I said if Punk walks onto Raw, throws that fucking red bag in the trash, he doesn't even have to pull the belt out of the bag. Just throws it in the trash and goes, fucking tell me when I'm telling lies. Woo! Cody Rhodes at this same press conference, he took a little pot shot and he's like, oh, the attendance, this, oh, that's the EVP in me. And when they brought up the Bucks, he goes, yeah, my buddies, my friends, da-da-da-da-da. So you know that's going to play out on screen. And you know Cody, like, and I'm going to play you what he said about Punk returning to WWE. And this is why Cody wants to do what's best for business. Cody was saying the same exact shit in the AEW locker room, and he had the Young Bucks looking back at him trying to get Brandon Cutler a fucking job. Okay? And this is what Cody, I guarantee you he was saying this shit in AEW, and that's why he left, because he was probably saying this exact same shit. And he saw the cliquey locker room and he went, this is exactly what WWE used to be. Let's play Cody's clip right here.
If he can help with where we're going and what we're doing, absolutely. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. And I have a feeling that the CM Punk that potentially we're getting is hungry.
Yes.
And that's the best. That's the best. When someone's hungry, when somebody wants something, when it's real. And I'll give kudos and flowers to Triple H and Nick Khan for getting that done.
Yeah.
You could ask all the boys and girls till they're blue in the face, hey, how do you feel? You know, you might get up, you might get down, a wide range of emotions, but the first thing always is business.
Business.
And again, we're doing record business. Feels like everybody wants to be here. More the merrier. If you can help.
And yeah, basically he just says, you know, if you can help on this shit, I don't know why I just cut off there, but he says that was it. That was the clip. And he just said, you know, if you can help, like, welcome aboard this ship. You think CM Punk is going to have to choke anyone out? You think there's going to be people doing shit like that? Now they're going to lean into that backstage. They're going to work. They're already working the marks. All the marks are like, oh, hopefully this isn't real. Look, it's already starting. Just coping. So now here's Triple H speaking on the return of CM Punk at Survivor Series. Now this one's a bit longer, but it's only 2 minutes long. But it's just this remix. Yeah, man. Let's hear Triple H talk about it, because this is all that needs to be said about it. This is the money right here. This is the truth right here.
It's one of those sort of lightning in a bottle moments that came together very quickly. But we are incredibly excited about it. You know, it's been a long time, and in some ways been a long time coming. You know, you could say this about CM Punk. Love him, hate him, positive, negative, whatever you want to say. People talk about him.
Yep.
All the time.
All the time.
He is a magnet for that. He's a conversation starter. and it's tough to look past that. And for me, if our fans want it, if the WWE Universe is excited to have it,
they wanted it.
Then let's go.
Let's go.
And
let's
we'll figure
fucking
out the
go.
rest of it from there.
Yep.
This came together super quick, which I'm sure is why it stayed very tight. You know, there's a lot of speculation at that point. It was nothing but speculation. For most of the time, it was speculation. It didn't really start to come to fruition until everybody stopped thinking it was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it was happening. But extremely excited. You know, a lot of time has gone by, almost 10 years, right? And if you are the same person you were 10 years ago, 10 years later, you've messed up.
Yep.
Everybody grows. Everybody changes. And I'm a different person. He's a different person. This is a different company. And we're all on the same even starting ground. So what's next for CM Punk? That'll be interesting, won't it?
Yes, it will.
I'm interested to see that myself.
Me too,
I know
motherfucker.
whatever it is, it'll be talked about. It'll be exciting, and it'll be a thrill ride for the WWE Universe, no matter what it is. And I'm thrilled. We're all thrilled to have him back here and to have him back. You know, cliched to say, but have him back home in WWE. It's where he belongs.
It's where he belongs. Triple H said it. It's where he belongs, and that's just it, man. He does belong there. He's a superstar in every sense of the word, and he's only there to do good business. People are like, oh, he's a hypocrite, blood money. People, how does that bitch's dick taste? There's people, all this stuff, man. Fucking goobers. Shut the fuck up, you crybaby ass marks. Drives me insane. And so Tony Khan was asked in an interview for his reaction by the BBC, and this is what he had to say. Of course, you guys already know what he has to say.
I have to ask you about CM Punk. Of course, he was at All In, and his
Sorry, I don't know. It's glitching.
All In, and his last appearance for AEW
DMC
was at All
striking
In
us.
at Wembley Stadium. We've now seen him appear at WWE Survivor Series at War Games. Were you surprised to see him there?
Can't talk about that, nor do I think it's time or the place. But I appreciate you asking, and I'm very excited about AEW All In Wembley Stadium. Not to dodge or duck your question, it's just not something I can legally talk about.
I have to ask you about.
I can't legally talk about him showing up at Survivor. Shut the fuck up, man. Oh my God. This is who these people worship, man. This is why Grand Metalik refuses to do jobs, bro. It's you know, it's like, how can you not take that? So if you guys don't get it, like Edge and them they're just taking the dude's money, right? Like, you guys understand that? I hope you all get that. Yeah, I mean, that's the funniest thing ever. He can't talk about it. Like, get the fuck out of here. So maybe I'll just scroll through a couple CM Punk things. He's trending. Like, he's been trending hard this whole time. So I don't know. He's got some sick merch that's out there. He looked really happy to be back, obviously, but just imagine like being in that actual full arena with a bunch of people, you know, that are in there that are like excited to see him, and they're not like half booing him when he's the clear baby face. And apparently CM Punk said, now this could not be real. This is a quote from Pro Wrestle Flashlight. Again, apparently this is a CM Punk quote he gave them. I'm refreshed, I'm back home, and I work with real grown-ups. So if that's real, jeepers, you know, it's already begun. And it makes sense, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see some melties. Mostly people are just putting this all over. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. Just shout out Punk. This is a moment. This is another moment in time that, I don't know, man. WWE just gives these moments. We're never going to forget this, ever. And CM Punk's had 2 or 3 of the most incredible returns, comebacks in history. And they happened within like a couple short years. It's just absolutely incredible when he's been able to do. And it's absolutely hilarious seeing everyone melt down about it. And they're just coping so hard. Now, I'm not going to keep going at these people. We went hard at these marks, but just the fact that they're trying to diminish Punk and now they're turning on AEW. And it's like, man, if you guys just from the beginning, if you guys just listen to what we had to fucking say about like, yeah, like, okay, are there good workers? Are there good acts? Da-da-da-da-da. Yes. But that being said, like they're not, it's not a cohesive show, and anyone who says that just gets attacked. They get shit on. They get told, okay, Fed Mark and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, this is where superstars live. This is where grown-ups live. They're doing the best business ever. 2023 has seen Orton come back, Punk, Cena's retirement, The Rock showed up out of nowhere. Like, WWE's fucking crushing it. They're doing record business. I'm sure Punk's on somewhat of a part-time deal, like probably not part-time, but it's just, I'm sure he's on lesser dates and stuff, but also just think about it. It's not like he won't go and wrestle. Like, he's willing to show up at Collision and in the butt fuck nowhere for 3,000 people. He's willing to do it. So, you know, he's going to be here a lot. He's going to want to make a difference. He's going to try and make a difference. I don't know, man. Shout out CM Punk. Shout out the WWE. We'll drop another motherfucking bomb for them on that one, because how crazy is that he came back? And guys, with that being said, that is our show. That is the show. So again, I'd like to shout out the patrons: Reggie Rodriguez, Mark Hugh the Mark, Ashley V, Russ Paxson, Chris Killis. Go check out our 28 minutes of wrestlers getting punked. There's tons of other stuff posted up there. And furthermore, yeah, man, we're lowering the tiers. We're going to lower them $1 and $5. So get up in there, guys. And maybe we'll do a little free trial for Christmas for the month of December. Maybe we'll do, you know, you can get a month free. And if you like it, you can stay on. If you don't, you can peace the fuck out. But yeah, I'm trying to get more content uploaded to there. And I'm just very excited for tonight's Raw. I can't even explain it, but I'll do another show and review of that as quickly as possible and get it out there to you guys. With that being said, that's the show. Check us out at Pro Wrestle Times everywhere on social media. Check out the Clips channel at Pro Wrestle Clips. Check out at Pro Wrestle Times on YouTube. Those are on YouTube. And then we're Rumble and everywhere else. You guys already know. The RSS feeds at the link for those of you. And get your fucking PWT Awards nominees in. Vote. Tell us who you think were the wrestlers of the year. I'll post them below again. Kind of slacking on that. But yeah, guys, get into all that. Tell us who you think should get votes and why. And with that being said, I've been Phil Marks. This has been the Top Pod Pro Wrestle Times PWT Times Dummy.
Dummy, yeah.
And I am out of here. Peace.